Fellow YouTubers. Usually I'm the guy with the harmonica, playing harmonica music like this. But I'm in a new apartment, I have neighbors. Don't know that they'd appreciate a long harmonica video, so I thought I'd do Ark. Everyone who knows Ark, there are plenty of people who've gotten famous doing this, and they've pretty much covered everything that I can cover, but I don't want to be famous. I just want to have fun. For anyone new, welcome. So, first things first, we go to join Ark. And I bought my own servers through the hosting service Nitrado. So I'm gonna look up my servers. These are good servers for new players who are wanting to learn. I don't have much time streaming, doing YouTube videos, so I'm a little bit nervous. You'll have to bear with me. There are 12 maps total in this game. Pretty much built up on Bragg, Crystal Isles, Theodore, and Valguero, so I am gonna go to Extinction, where I will be making a new survivor and showing you the basics of the game. It's a fun game once you get used to it. So we start here, and we've got our character creation. So I'm somewhat of a perv, you'll have to bear with me. I always play as a female. In my defense though, I was also married, so I guess there's that. I'm not just some creep who can't get a girl. Or, I guess, a woman, since I'm grown up now. General way to set this up, and I know I'm just rambling right now, but please bear with me and we will get to gameplay. Back to my default name, Clar, from the popular, well, I thought it was popular. I liked it, the anime claymores.
You've reached the end of your path, Survivor. Just as Helena Walker once did. It is here that she and her allies faced their final battles. It's up to you to make sure their sacrifices weren't in vain. The alien element that ended our world has willed a titanic adversary into being, to rule in the ruins. Find a way to dethrone that king, and you'll clear the way for me to call down the arts, enabling nature to be reseeded. Humanity and Earth's many creatures, and evolution itself, can be restored. Helena Walker wanted it so. No. I wanted it. I may be the one who waits, but I'm still Helena too. I remember everything now. The struggles I faced. The losses I felt. And the love that I found. I can see the world through my own eyes again. And Survivor, I'm certain of one thing now. You got this, mate.
So first things first, before I load in, which seems to be taking a little while. This server is a little bit different from the rest of my servers. It has a unique setup, so the usual drops that help you speed along and learn the ins and outs of the game are not available on this map, which makes it a little bit harder to play, but this is the only server where I'm not really built up in a tribe. Oh, well, that wasn't very nice. Let's try this again. If you prefer a hardcore grind, this would not be the place to come to. I've made things a bit easier with the settings for new people starting out. Someone joined as well, I'm not sure who, but welcome nonetheless. This is my first official stream, so there's a lot I've got to learn. Oh, not again. Alright, let's try this again. Maybe there's a skip button this time so I don't time out like last time. best host here because but I'll do my best to explain how this game goes and how to enjoy it. Oh, did I seriously forget my color? I forgot to do the color. I have nothing against this color, by the way. I have an adopted African cousin who saved my life on a mountain once, so I don't have anything against the color. I have 3 other African American cousins, non-adopted, but yeah, just saying I've got a very specific setup. I nearly forgot it. Let's try this again.
You've reached the end.
There we go, we're loaded in this time. Alright, so you read the description of the game. It says you start off naked and alone. As you saw, we have garments because I think the American ESRB rating doesn't allow full nudity. That was the case with Conan, which I did not get very far into. But the point is to thrive, survive, and outlast everyone else. So, and I feel like I'm going to be saying so a lot. Sorry. Now we start gathering, harvesting what we can so we can build up. Playing a game with dinosaurs and people who want to kill you. It's got a similar theme to Conan and Rust. We can play PvE where people can't kill you and destroy everything you create. But I host PvP servers because... Oh, I'm getting distracted by my own recording. It's somewhat helpful, somewhat not. As I was saying though, I host PvP servers because I also have ADHD, so apologies if I go around in circles. Let's try this again. I host PvP servers because if I play PvE, I can't kill my own tames. And I need to be able to kill my own tames when I am breeding, which I will get into later. If I do not kill the tames that I don't want, breeding will pretty much overpopulate the server. Oh, leveling up. That's probably something I should cover. you start off at level 1, and we have settings here that boost the leveling up process. On official, unaltered servers, it would take forever to get these stats. We don't generally do food, we don't generally do water. Weight is important. Melee is optional, it depends on your playstyle. I like movement speed, and it comes in handy because you can outrun everything chasing you, of course. Crafting skill comes in handy. Fortitude is also quite useful. In my opinion, early on in the game though, it's best to start with weight or movement speed because you want to be able to outrun everything trying to kill you, and you don't want to get weighed down to the point where you can't move. So these are the engrams. Normally you have to choose which engrams you want to learn, but because I'm hosting a server, I have a setting called Auto Unlock All Engrams, which means you learn everything as you level up. When you don't have this setting, it can be quite difficult deciding which ones to learn and which ones to skip, because you might find that some of the ones you skip you'll need later. In real life, this would not work at all. As you can see, my health is going down. I'm actually hurting myself. But this is how you start the game. I think on official I'd still be at level 1, maybe level 2 if I'm lucky. Official it's a real grind. That puts the weight at 1,000. Use the movement speed some more. Now, I'm gonna press the middle button. I don't know what it's actually called. I should. We go to crafting, and this is usually the first thing you'll make. A stone pickaxe. Once you get the stone pickaxe, you press X, go to where you want it down here in the hotbar, press X again, and there it is. Now, as you can see, the hotbar all has the buttons that go to each slot. I might explain a little bit more than I have to, but just covering my grounds. Pickaxe, we get flint, which you cannot actually pick up like I was picking up stone. And now we go to the hatchet. When you craft these, you go to the ones that are lit up and you press R2 to craft. Also, an advanced tip for new people playing. When you're here, do not click on this one here, toggle tooltips, because if you turn it off, you will not get any info on the engram or item you're hovering over. You want the tooltips on so that you know what it is and what you need to craft it, as you can see. We've got a few more levels we can put in. Which puts us to level 21, which means we can make a raft now. So, on this map, there's very little water. A raft is of no use normally. But the wooden raft right there will help you level up a lot quicker. It gives you a lot of experience, even on official. Where was I? The bow is one of the first things you want to make for weapon because it's a distance weapon. You have the ability to run and shoot. You're not quite as vulnerable as you would be with the pickaxe or the hatchet. Oh, to harvest, I should have mentioned that from the beginning. You go up, and in the case of the stones I picked up earlier and these bushes, you hold down triangle. If you hold down triangle, you can pick up multiples at once. Just walk around with triangle held down and you instantly pick up the bushes. I have fiber, so now, how about some clothing? This is low-grade clothing. It does not offer much protection. But you gotta start somewhere, right? To equip it, you go to it and you press R2. So these are skins and costumes, and you can play around with them, but I don't generally keep them. They just take up space for me. So to get rid of them, you press L2. We have fiber, so there's the bow. Make some arrows. levels, put it into movement speed. And 310 is my magic number for movement speed, so that should be good. That is the sound of element. Element is used to power tech stuff. Tech is, well, from our point of view, it's futuristic stuff. Building structures, weapons, armor, a few assorted things like teleporter, generator. It's a fairly extensive list, but back to point, that was the sound of an element drop, and the element drop you have to defend with your dinos. It's a fragile thing. It's pretty much a cluster of crystals on the ground. There is one super crystal. If it's destroyed, you lose the element drop, so you've got to be careful when you're defending it. Unfortunately, back to where I was before, Hide is a very important resource that you will use to craft stuff. And early in the game, you're not strong enough to take the carnivores for the most part, so unfortunately you have to take on the more defenseless creatures to get your hide. Oh, that's gonna hurt. So that was called an enforcer. If you hit it, well, in this case, it kills you. Now, you may have seen Helena Walker in the opening scene when I timed out earlier. She is actually the one that allows you to respawn on the map. And when you respawn, you've got this beacon here, as you can see. It shows you where your last body was, and it allows you to pick up everything you lost. As long as you do not touch these, they do not attack you, so that's a very important thing to remember. Where to put it? Well, health might be a good idea. I died pretty quick, as you saw. Specimen implant. You don't need that one, it's from the last survivor. Alright, so you may notice there's an icon at the bottom right corner of my screen next to a column of other, well, icons. That's a little flame, and it's a small one because there's a big burning flame also. The small one that you see means it's getting hot. It's not particularly dangerous yet, but if it turns into a big flame, you will start to lose health and you'll dehydrate quicker. So, hide. Not enough hide yet. Oh, I can actually make the arms and the shoes. Now I have a full set of armor, or I guess in this case clothing. These are two very important things you want to make early in the game. The hide sleeping bag you can place anywhere on the map, and it'll allow you to respawn at that point on the map. The simple bed here, you need a foundation, or if you get really good at building, a ceiling. And there's a difference between the two, obviously. The hide sleeping bag is only a one-time use, so when you respawn, it disappears. The simple bed here does not disappear, it's continuous use. So it helps to have a base, or at least a safe shelter built up, so that you can always come back to it. And I am gonna make this simple bed, because I know I'll need it. To open your inventory, also something I should have mentioned earlier, just press circle. Put these points into fortitude, because fortitude, it allows you to better resist the heat and the cold, and makes it harder for anything to knock you out. Good, I was hoping to get another point. That Gets our fortitude up to 100. Side note, in official servers, most people like to get their fortitude up to 60, I believe. I spent like 20 minutes on official and gave up because I died a lot and I didn't level up very quickly. I have a great deal of patience, I'm just apparently not compatible with official. That's a good challenge, though. Later in the game, these berries will serve for cooking recipes, but right now, they're best suited for keeping your food up so you don't starve. You can eat the yellow ones, the blue ones, the red ones, and the purple ones. I mean, technically you can eat any of them, but if you eat the black ones while your fortitude is low, you'll knock yourself out. If you eat the white ones over here, they'll make you thirsty fairly quick, and that's not a good thing this early in the game because there's not much water in this area of the map. And this water skin here leaks, so it doesn't permanently hold water. Serves you right. Apparently this guy got itself stuck killing me and now it can't move. Unfortunately, if I harvest my body and hit it, I'll just die again, so living on a prayer. Luckily, I'm still alive. Alright, so now we will take you around the city area of the map. Middle button opens the map. And obviously there are some parts of the map you'll like better than others. As long as you're careful, the city, the center of the map, is probably about the safest place to be. So which way are we going? Oh crap, run for your life. So that glowing thing was, well, it's called a megatherium. The megatherium is a herbivore. Is it a herbivore? It might be an omnivore. I think it's a herbivore. I don't spend much time with megatheriums, but here's what you need to know about the megatherium. When it kills a bug, it gets incredibly strong. If you've tamed it, it will get a power boost and it will practically kill everything that you're attacking. If it's wild and untamed, however, it will just try to kill everything it sees. Like me. So, when it kills a bug, run. Just run. I've successfully tamed a Megatherium while it's in that glowing state, and it took a really long time. Alright. When you run from a creature, you tend to get lost, so open the map frequently. I have a specific place I'm headed to. Yeah, I recognize the landmark. I'm going the right way. That was the sound of bugs. Bugs that think I'll make a nice meal, but I'm not gonna stick around. Alright. So, this is what I built with another survivor last night. This is for my main tribe. And it's a really basic shelter, but it gets the job done. There's a bed inside where my teammates can respawn. But the reason I came here is because these are crystals. And crystals are they're a vital resource in advanced crafting. Do I have enough? No, there it is. I don't have enough. Oh, hide. Alright, so that was the spyglass. The spyglass is a lifesaver in many situations. But I don't have enough hide right now to make it. So I need to find something that's not gonna kill me when I shoot it. Oh, there's another Megatherium. This one is not glowing. It doesn't have any bugs to kill at the moment. But on this map, don't stand around them too long. There are a lot of bugs on this map. listening to myself talk on the live recording. I've got my laptop up and my YouTube channel open. And that is my nervous voice. But like I said, I'm fairly new to this. Need to find a dodo, or maybe a lystro. Or a raptor. Let's hope you're not a high level. Alright, so tip about tools. If you use the pickaxe, it gives you more raw meat, which we will need fairly soon to survive without starving. If you use the hatchet, it gives you more hide, and hide is what we need right now to make our spyglass. That should be enough hide. Now we have a spyglass. So, spyglass. Alright, so the spyglass. Here's how the spyglass works. To access it, you hold down R1, and it's in the triangle slot, so you press triangle. If you hit R2, you'll attack with the spyglass. It doesn't do a lot of damage. You want to hit L2. L2, and then it shows you creatures from a distance. And it shows you their level as well, so you know if you can take it on before you even walk up to it. needs flint. Now that we're starving, we'll need the campfire. These berries will hold us over for a while, but they're not ideal for healing. Now we need a place to call home. So let's start building. Right, so building. Over there is the one I built with my main survivor. Got some wood. And we'll start with the basics. The foundation is usually the basic building block of anything you build. You gotta have the foundation before you can build anything else. Not getting in without the door. Walls are self-explanatory. Ceiling. So, basic building. You hit the button for the slot it's in. And there are a couple of ways to do this. When you've got it where you want it, you press R2 or you can press square. And the first time you press the button, it'll allow you to turn it in angles. Once you have it where you want it, you press square or R2 again. Now, when you place something, there are usually multiple snap points. Hello and welcome. By the way, I don't know if the last person came back or not, but either way, glad you're watching. Now, as I was saying, snap points. Usually when you place a building structure, there are multiple snap points. You can do snap points by pressing R1, or, as a friend taught me recently, triangle. But this is the snap point we want. And oh, I didn't want to do that, but if you have a craftable item on your hotbar and you press an empty slot where the item was, you can recraft it. And this is basic building. This is really, really basic building. This is thatch. It is the weakest material in the game, so it's most likely to get broken. You can't really fit anything in here. But a demonstration is in order. So we have our bed, we have our thatch structure. It's, well, safe as long as nothing attacks it. And now, a demonstration of the simple bed, and I crafted another door. The bed is in our structure. So now we're gonna feed you. this so I can demonstrate the bed. And now, next to that X, which is marking where I died, there's a bed icon. The bed is now a respawn point. A continuous use respawn point, and it brings us right back to the little structure we built here. Respawn points have a cooldown timer. Normally, you cannot pick up structures once you place them down after the first 30 seconds. But I've set my servers up so that you have infinite pickup. Which means anytime you want to pick up something you place down, you can. Now, we want something stronger. Stone is the way to go, but it would take a while to make stone. I don't want to bore anyone, but early in the game, playing by yourself, you will do a lot of harvesting. It is a game of patience, and when you think about those mobile idle games on your phone, this is kind of like the ultimate idle game in a sense. And my argument there is you do something, it takes time. You get bored, you do something else while the time passes. Specifically things like crafting and breeding dinos. What do we got? 6. We'll want at least 25. Boost up. a tribe name, this comes in handy. There, now you've established yourself with your tribe name. Or rather, I have. Maybe we'll go a little bit smaller to start. How many can I make? How many do I have? I have 6. I can make 7. To build a 4x4, I need 16, so I'm 3 short. Oh, have I forgotten? Yeah, I forgot to re-equip the armor. If anything breaks and you can normally craft it from your inventory, you go up to it, hover over it, and press triangle. Triangle will let you repair it. And we're gonna repair these as well, because pretty much one hit will break them. More wood. Brings me to 16. there are loads of ways to build. I personally like symmetry. Usually. Once you've got the hang of this, you can build pretty quick, as you can see, but you gotta be careful. If you put it in the wrong place, you'll break previous structures. And you'll get a few resources back, but it's not a full reimbursement. Pressure plate, never used those before. Walls. There's a door. Ow. Didn't have to get to it until now, but X is jump. Very late in the game. I should have started with... That should have been in the beginning as well. So, how about a few buttons? X is jump. R3 is crouch. And you can drop all the way down to a crawl. If you don't like playing in first player, hold down the middle button. You'll see all of these options go to toggle third person. And now you can actually see yourself when you move. I don't play in this mode generally. I like the first person as if you're there kind of experience, but if you like third player, that's the way you do it. If you want to run, press L3. R2 is your attack. If you don't have an item, R1 is also attack. I think I mentioned earlier, triangle picks stuff up. Circle opens your inventory, which we are going to need now because we're starving. Alright, a fun fact: if you eat spoiled meat or feces, you obviously hurt yourself. Kinda like poisoning yourself for a few seconds. These here are rare mushrooms. You can eat them and they'll give you food, but be very, very careful with these, because if you eat them by pressing R2, that's how you eat. I should have mentioned that earlier as well. You go to the food in your inventory, hover on it, and press R2. If you eat it, though, you go blind. In a safe place, this is okay, but if you're not somewhere that's pretty much dino-free, it's not something you want to do. So we've started with the door. More wood. It's slow progress when you're alone, so by now you've probably figured it out that you probably want to play with the tribe. Things go a lot quicker when you don't play alone. Now we have a basic barrier. What's the word I'm actually looking for? So, early things you want. Cooking pot. Mortar and pestle I made already. Large storage box will come in handy. Preserving bin, basic refrigerator. You'll definitely need that. The refining forge you'll definitely need. Thanks for sticking around, by the way. When your hotbar items break, you go over to the item, press the hotbar. No, press triangle on the hotbar item. And it'll repair it. Now we've got some stone to make the refining forge. Let's see, did we get any more metal? Not really. Alright, so resources. Rocks. Basic stone, flint. Not what we're looking for, though. More stone, flint. The game was meant to be fairly realistic, and it's not perfect, but it does the best it can. Ow. And that was the wrong tool I wanted to hide. In fairness, though, what I'm looking for requires this tool. Maybe it was this way. That was a drone. They're just an annoyance, really. Ah, here we go. Rocks that look like this are metal rocks. Metal's something you need quite a bit of, both early and later in the game. So that's all the stone we need. That's all the metal we need, sorry. do we have any wood? Yes, we have wood. Alright, we do not have a mortar and pastel. Apparently that's what I did before I went to bed this morning. There's our mortar and pastel. And now we're just gonna start equipping our basic necessities. Well, placing, I should say. Alright, when you place these down, most of these items will have a 3D outline, so that when you start going into things like walls, you'll see where they overlap, and it allows you to avoid sticking things out of walls. If you like a clean setup. Normally, I would build the whole base before I start placing stuff, but I know it'd take quite some time. So we're speeding things up just a little bit. Normally, you want to use wood to start a fire, but that also works. Spark powder can also be used. And now we're cooking. Another 3 levels. Levels into weight. powder and pastel is used to make a few different things. In this case, we're making spark powder. Thankfully, spark powder is pretty quick to make. It doesn't take too long. Later in the game, we'll have something called a chem bench, which speeds things up quite a bit. Spark powder. Place it in the inventory of the preserving bin by holding down X. And now we can refrigerate food. We'll want to refrigerate the spoiled meat. Later on, it makes narcotics, which we will then use to tame dinos. There's metal ingots. Stone, grab the flint, and now we're gonna have to go out and kill something. We need hide. Okay, dodo. I heard a dodo somewhere. There's the dodo. Ants. Early in the game, ants are no joke. You don't have much armor. You don't have very good weapons. guys will kill you if you're not careful. So we've got the smithy now, and the smithy is your basic starter crafting station for a lot of stuff. We put all of our crafting materials in. And we start making stuff. That's all the metal we can smelt. For every 2 metal you get 1 ingot, which means we're pretty much out of metal. Grab the ingots. Toss them in. So we go to weapons. The pickaxe is perhaps the most important basic tool. Specifically the metal pickaxe, because it gives you a lot more metal. Being that it's a metal tool, perhaps that makes sense. But if you saw me harvesting the metal rock earlier, you saw that the stone pickaxe didn't give much. Which is why you want these metal tools as early as possible. Oh, fiber. Let's fix that. The crossbow's an early weapon you want. There's your trade-off. So, the crossbow does more damage, but it has a reload, meaning you can't rapid fire a crossbow. If you can find a strategic place to shoot from, though, you don't have to worry about the reload. Compass. Cool, kind of works, kind of doesn't. Armor. Yes, I knew I was forgetting something. It takes time, it takes effort, but the best early armor in the game, in my opinion, is this flak armor. It has an armor rating of 100, so it reduces any damage you take by 100 points. It's got a durability of 120. If you look at my cloth, it's got a durability of 25, and the armor is 10, so it gives you almost no protection. I believe it's good for absorbing heat, though. It's a light-colored, light material, so when you're in like a heat wave, this armor reduces the heat a little bit. But back to point, this flak is the best early armor you can probably get when it comes to survival. For that, we need more metal. We also need more hide. Use a storage box to put this stuff away. Toss that because I don't need it. Oh, and equip these new tools. They don't do me much good if they're not equipped. Ow, wrong place. You can pretty much store anything anywhere, but these really ought to go in the large storage box. Got a good supply of cooked meat now. If your food is at 100 points, 5 of these cooked meats will give you all 100 points back. So eat 5 at a time. More than that would be wasting it. Toss that in. Pull this out for a minute. Oh, so if you need to split items that stack, such as this thatch, there are 2 ways to do it. If you press triangle, it splits it in half. And then if you press X and go to the other half, you can put it back together. Or if you press triangle, it'll only separate it by 1. This is a chibi. looks, well, kinda cute, and it follows you everywhere you go. It also has the ability to raise your level by, I want to say 5 levels. But you have to kill alpha creatures. They have an orange glow like the Megatherium did earlier. They're stronger. They take longer to kill. They do a lot more damage, obviously. I believe alpha creatures can destroy anything you build up to stone. So that greenhouse glass, wood, and stone can be destroyed by alpha creatures. If you have metal or tech, you're safe against alpha creatures. Another level. Put it into weight. On most maps, there is a daytime and a nighttime. On an official server, daytime and nighttime last for half an hour each. When you buy servers through hosting services like Nitrado or G-Portal, both good hosting sites, I would recommend Nitrado more, probably, because it's a little bit easier to manage the server. But when you go to the hosting service to access your server, you can change the length of day and night. You can't see it in the city because it's always daytime, but the settings for my servers are about 4 hours daytime and 1 hour nighttime. The reason why is because drops are easier to see at nighttime. So, what am I doing? I am looking for metal. Alright, these birds are called Ichthyornis. The Ichthyornis steals your food. It just stole all of my cooked meat. Which is a pain in the ass because I kind of needed that cooked meat. If the Ichthyornis steals your meat, you don't get it back, unfortunately. If you come across another creature called the Pegomastax, it can steal just about anything. But if you kill it within a certain amount of time, usually you have a while to kill it. But if you kill it within a certain amount of time, you get the item back. needs to go in here. I could use a water jar right about now. Earlier I mentioned the water skin. It holds water, but it also leaks, so it's not real great. It does not fill your water. Your water stat. Because by the time you need it, a lot of the water has leaked. I can't seem to find the water jar. There's the water jar. Oh, I need cementing paste. Alright, cementing paste. I'm gonna show you something new. Unless you're a veteran, in which case it's not new at all, but advice nonetheless. That's a Dilophosaur, just like Jurassic Park. So, to get cementing paste, you have to go to beaver dams. The problem with that is beavers don't like no outsiders. You play with the beaver dam, you get the beaver. As you are about to see. Just opening it will get their attention. There's one beaver. There's two beavers. The movement speed I've put into my stats comes in handy. I'd rather not face the beavers though, because they're really good at harvesting wood. And they hurt if you let them. Thankfully there were only two, but there are beaver dams you can go to where there are up to 8 of them. So we got the cementing paste. There's the water jar. We need crystal. So we go this way. This will give you crystal. Now that we have the metal pickaxe, we'll get a lot more crystal. Now we have a water jar. come up to the water. And R1 plus X. And the water jar is now filled. That'll give us back 100 water every time we drink it, and it only holds 200 water, so 2 uses. Got these fragmented green gems. They didn't work last night. When I put them in the smithy. But they're supposed to be a substitute for actual green gems. So that we can make climbing picks. Unfortunately, they are not compatible with the smithy, apparently. What was I doing here? ADHD is so much fun. So, there are things that we cannot do on this server. Especially right now. We're not able to tame anything. Realistically. We could make a wooden club, but everything would run away before we knocked it out. Which means we need trank arrows or tranquilizer darts. In either case, we do not have enough spoiled meat. Apologies about that. So I was here because I wanted to make something. Oh, I guess I'll get to it a little bit later. I wasn't planning to broadcast my other servers. But this is something you need to know how to do for a cluster. Cluster, of course, is a group of servers all in together. If I can just remember, there it is. So normally you go to the obelisk to travel between servers, but the obelisks are all in scary caves underground. In this case, you go to the city terminal. You go to travel to another server. Those footsteps were the sound of a compy. If another one shows up, I'll be attacked. But you come here, and you choose which one you want to go to. For what I need to do, I'm going to rag. Again, this wasn't part of my original plan, but I'll sort of advertise how going back and forth in a cluster is helpful. Each map has unique dinos. Some dinos go to multiple maps, some dinos are only found on a specific map, or you could go to this map, Ragnarok, where if you know what you're doing, you can program dinos onto the map that wouldn't normally spawn. I don't plan to spend too much time here. But this map does have something that I desperately need. And I know this map well. Actually, this map is my favorite. So, this is the fabled drop I speak of. It's actually the best drop, it's a red drop. You won't find these on Extinction, the map I just came from. But it has stuff that you need, especially this transmitter, which will allow me to jump maps from the base I'm building. What else? The cryofridge will be needed for cryopods, which are pretty much Pokeballs in the Ark world. Very, very useful thing. And taking a glance here to double check. Sound of a Dilophosaur. Don't know where it is, but I heard its cry. There it is. This is what happens when it spits on me. So that's all I'm going to take out of that red drop, because I want to pretty much show you how to make almost everything you're going to need. I don't want to take any shortcuts that you're not going to understand. Fall damage is real, so be careful where you jump. chitin. Or chitin, depending on how you say it. There is a correct way to say it, and I'm not sure what the correct way is. Megalodon. Not something you find on Extinction. As I said before, I don't want to stay here too long because I'm trying to showcase Extinction, which my friend just recently bought. Yesterday, actually. I need bugs. The bulb dog is really cool. It's a very helpful creature, especially at night. It acts as a nightlight. It is not native to this map. I had to code it in. These are easily tamed with anything, pretty much. They're omnivores, but they prefer meat. And I did not plan on taming anything on this map, but I think it would be quite helpful to have a bulb dog. Oviraptor, I don't have to worry about that one. Thank you again for still sticking around. I'm quite new to this. Since I'm not a big talker normally, I am outside my comfort zone. We'll get a fair amount of raw meat as well. Another Dilophosaur. There we go. If you walk up to these creatures when you use a bow, you can get the arrows back, usually. And recycling arrows is a great thing, because a bow is no good without arrows, obviously. So, levels. I have not talked about levels yet. Your survivor will max out at 105 normally. Your survivor can go up higher if it ascends. To ascend, you have to beat the bosses on the maps. Currently, the highest level I know of is 180. But there we go, that's a passive tame. This is one you don't have to knock out. So, normal max level for a survivor is 105. If you ascend by beating all the bosses, you should be able to go up to 180. The max level of a dino is based on what you set the server to. My dinos max out at level 300, so that 280 was a good investment. Alright, so I have some trouble shooting these guys. And I don't have many arrows. I'm just gonna go with the one bulb dog, I think. Oh, no, that's not a good place to be right now. I have weak armor and not much for weapons, so I'm gonna run. Those were Allosauruses. They hunt in packs of 3 normally, and they do bleed damage, which means you take damage over time. So, if you can help it, stay away. If you hold X while swimming, you float. If you don't, well, you just sink, pretty much. We are currently starving, so we need food. You do, of course, heal over time. You may have noticed already. To do so, you drain your food, though. For the record, this is the map where you probably need the most fortitude. So, little history on this map while I'm running around. This map was originally a DLC created by a fan, and it was a very popular, very successful DLC, I believe. It was so popular that it became a free map for the main game. The game started off on PC, and the amount of things you can do on PC are just incredible. That's pretty much how people made all the maps that you see today. Well, the maps that weren't covered by Wildcard anyways. Who made the game, I believe. But yeah, Rag was a very, very popular map, and it eventually became a free map. This is probably tied roughly with my favorite map. Well, as my favorite map. Alright, so these are good to harvest. They give you spoiled meat. You need spoiled meat to make narcotics, as I said before. But these are not what I'm looking for. Well, you're a long ways from your usual spot. This is Maywing. The Maywing is absolutely awesome. It acts as a nurse, ultimately. It's capable of feeding newly hatched dinos. I'll go this way. I can talk more about it later, though. Right now, though, I need to get to the redwoods. Ovises. These are actually important creatures. They make, well, you harvest raw mutton off of them, and it cooks to become cooked lamb chops. Cooked lamb chops is about, it's just about a carnivore's favorite food. I'm trying to cram in everything I can sort of think of as I play this game. So, another sort of side note. The icons in my bottom right corner aren't quite as easy to see in the beginning. For that, you have to go, you press options, you press options again, and when you start the game, this UI general scale here is maxed out. To properly see all of the icons that can appear on your screen, you want to drop it about 3 levels. And then you go up, and save and exit is what you do. It'll fix the scale of your screen so that you can see all of the icons. And that'll take care of that original problem when you first start playing. I know, silly side note, but trust me, it'll come in handy. So, moving on. Ooh, this is what I was looking for. If you see one of these, run. Just run. This is a Giga. The Giga will kill you very fast. It'll kill anything quite quickly. Because I do not want to face that, we are going to take a swim to avoid it. It does incredible bleed damage, and the damage over time created by the bleed is just... I mean, never mind the bleed. Its raw damage is off the charts. It breaks armor rather quickly. But we have successfully made it to the redwoods. This is what I asked. Okay, all of my armor broke at once. And now we have some chitin, which is going to be very important for the reason I came to Rag in the first place. I don't have any fiber. I need fiber. Build this, set up to distract people teleporting in. Alright, now we have fiber. Actually, it's time to upgrade. Alright. So... we're looking for a little guy that I spawned in... well, I didn't spawn it in, I programmed it in. I mean, I know the password, I could start using all kinds of cheats, but I really like playing without cheats. Dire Bear, don't stand too close to those for too long. That's Palovia. If you find one in the ground... oh, it's still coming after me. If you find one in the ground and it jumps you, you get dazed for a while. It's still coming after me. Alright, we'll take it on. And it's time to run. So, we're looking for a creature called the Cinnamacrops. It's small. It flies kind of like a bat. Still got the bulldog. Good. Creature is important because it's kind of like a jetpack, an organic jetpack. Alright, now I'm going to show you a neat little trick. As I mentioned earlier, you do take fall damage, but if you jump and you repeatedly press the spam circle, it resets the fall counter, so that as long as you keep pressing circle, when you come to the bottom and hit the ground, you take no fall damage. This is a very nice glitch that has been around forever, and Ark has never fixed it. Oh, that's a Trudon. They're not particularly fun to be around. So we're doing the circle spam again to avoid fall damage. If we'd landed in the water, we wouldn't have taken any damage anyways. But better safe than sorry. Kinda lost track of where I was. Alright, so we're looking for cinema crops. There we have it. We have the cinema crops. Alright, so now we're going to Red Ob. We found what we're looking for. So here's a fun fact about the bulb dog. The bulb dog will defend you, but no matter what its level is or how you soup it up, imprint it, it only does 24 damage. But, as I was saying, we have the cinema crops now. And the cinema crops allows me to fly. I can fly. If I hold down R3, I can parachute to avoid fall damage. And if I go forward and... Did I press the wrong button? If I go forward and press R3, it becomes a glider. This is a very, very important creature to have, in my opinion. It is the most important shoulder pet in the game. Now that we have our cinema crops, we need the bulb dog to follow us. Now that we have the cinema crops, I am going to teach you something new. Now I am going to teach you how to transfer creatures. So we're going to go to creatures over here. We click on the bulb dog. We go up to the dino footprint. We click on it. And if you look at the message, it says, "Are you sure you want to upload the creature's data? This will lead to destroying your creature and losing all its inventory." Now, you're not actually killing it. This is like Star Trek, if you're even familiar with Star Trek. But the idea is your creature gets turned into a data stream. It goes from being physical to digital. Like the Pokemon world, that might be more accurate. When Pokemon go in their Pokeballs, or they go through the transfer system of a Poke Center, they become data, take digital form. That's what's happening here. So press X, and it goes into the obelisk. I have two creatures, so they both go in. Now, when you put these in an obelisk or a transmitter or back on Extinction, the city terminal, they're on a 24-hour timer. After 24 hours, if you do not pull them out, they will actually be destroyed. They'll die. But we got the cinema crops we wanted. And now we're going back to extinction. Widowed back into extinction. I put down a bed so I have a good spawn point. Back to my little tiny base. So, there are two ways you can play this game. Also, something I should have mentioned at the very beginning. There's local single player and there's online multiplayer. You're gonna want online multiplayer if you can, because in online multiplayer the game is played in real time. The game will continue to function even if you're not in the server. If you play on single player and leave your world, the world pauses. It gets frozen until you come back. So things like that campfire you just saw burning, it will not continue to cook meat if you leave a single player world. It will keep cooking if you leave the multiplayer world. Now, this is important because things like smelting metal, turning wood into charcoal, it's a very long process that requires a great deal of time. And it's the kind of thing you want to do when you go to bed, so that when you wake up, you've got a ton of the material you need. But we're back on extinction. So now we want this transmitter. And we're going to place it down next to our incomplete base. We turn on the transmitter. Now that it's on, the very first thing we want to do is pull these creatures out. Because as you can see, there is a timer. After 24 hours, they are permanently destroyed. You can't get them back. So we bring out the bulb dog. We bring out the cinema crops. And the bulb dog is conveniently inside my base already. That saves me a lot of trouble. what is my weight? My weight is 201. The weight that the cinema crops can handle is 614. But I went to Rag. I mean, we went to Rag technically since you're watching. So I could get the cinema crops. I got the cinema crops so that I can fly. This will stop all so the bulldog doesn't keep trying to get out of base. The cinema crops probably should have been a different color because it blends in with the grass too well. But cinema crops. Now it's a lot easier to travel around the map. Oh. An important thing about the cinema crops. I have actually made this mistake before once. The cinema crops does not eat meat or berries like most creatures. Instead, it eats this chitin. And it needs the chitin to heal, to stay full, obviously. Unfortunately, I don't have much chitin to give it. Until I get more chitin, it might not be a good idea to fly around with it, because it burns through hunger when I fly. Yeah, as you can see, I ran out of chitin. I cannot fill its food bar, so if I try to fly with it, it could starve while it's flying. I actually had one die while I was flying with it, and I fell to the ground. I didn't die, but I took fall damage. I need bugs. nightlight. Charge regen. Charge emission range. Weight. Oh, I might have some in here, actually. Yeah, I've got a little bit more. It's not gonna be super helpful, but it's better than nothing. If you have an empty slot and the icon is faded, it means when you pick up another one, it'll go right back to that slot. If you don't want to do that, go to the slot and double-click X. It will clear the hotbar slot. Also, fun side fact. Meantime, let's say we finish this base. Alright. So let's see what I can do with this. city terminal. I'm a ways off. Wood. Of course I ran out of wood. Yep, that's the wooden roof. This one's a little bit annoying to find because the wooden roof and the wooden ceiling look just about the same. Can make 6, I need 16. That's a 4x4, so take 16 to cover the whole thing. Bugs, I'll take you. Cinnamon Crops needs you. Where'd you go? I need all the chitin I can get. is trying to get wood. Crystal. I might come back for that if I can remember how to find it. That should be all the wood I need to finish the base anyways. Came out at the city terminal again. Actually, shortcut. That's my transmitter. Great way to find a base. Alright, so now a tutorial for sloped walls. Right after I get these stairs. Stairs. Alright, so now the tutorial for sloped walls. Sloped walls can be a bit tricky. The sloped wall. What is this? So yeah, the sloped wall right goes on, I think that said right. ADHD makes for very poor short-term memory booster. So the sloped wall right actually goes on the left. Because it has multiple snap points, using the triangle button, it is possible to invert it, but it doesn't look as nice. Now that we have a little bit more chitin for the cinema crops, I'm gonna borrow the cinema crops. Drink some water. Now, this one gets a little bit tricky. As you can see, it has multiple snap points. And sometimes, when you snap it, it goes to the opposite snap point. That top one actually went where I wanted it to. The bottom one did not. And you can tell it didn't. Because the top is further out than the bottom is. Still doesn't look right. Actually, that was wrong. I had it right to begin with. Okay. So we're gonna pick up this one. And there are a few ways to fix the snap point problem. Sometimes it's about where you are when you place it. Sometimes it's about just clicking R1. Sometimes it's putting it in the opposite snap point and then placing it. And once in a while it gets a little bit annoying where you've got to press the R1 to change the snap point and then press triangle as quickly as you can so that it places properly. That's one side done. The cinema crops is not the best creature to have when you need to fly to build, but with practice you get used to it. That one, and place that one, and again the top came out right and the bottom did not, so we're going to use the annoying method. I'm going to press R1 in square as quickly as possible, and it is now lined up, and thus completes the base. Now we have a completed base. store these materials for now until we need them again. Cinema crops. $1,000. Oh, I could do this all day, but I think this is where I am going to end the stream for the day. And I will stream again. Within the next few days, probably. But yeah, that's gonna do it for now, so thanks to everyone who watched, and until next time. This is Deuce Jammer. Making an exit.